explains it. This summer, right? Anything interesting? That's good. That's good.
Guys, how are you guys? Girls? Girls.
Had a lot of off-season work, good hard training camp. How would you characterize this team you're going to put on the ice with respect to the team you hope to put on the ice as you put all this planning and work in over the offseason?
Yeah, I think the camp, I was happy the way the guys came into camp as far as the work they did put in during the summer with some of the expectations on our camp. I thought camp was outstanding. Again, I'm not making any predictions on the play and where we are, where we're going to be, but I think the mindset has been businesslike right on through, and right on through. Even the guys that we sent down and moved out wherever they went to, I'm thrilled how the camp went, and so now I think everybody's a little anxious to play. We've practiced a lot. We've done a lot of skating, obviously a heavy volume of skating in our camp, and so let's play and see where we go.
Anything keep you awake last night?
Yeah, I didn't. I just don't sleep now. It was just so much anticipating. It's not nerves; it's just anticipation. You have so many things. Your line combinations. You see some guys that, like the Pittsburgh game, I thought we did some really good things. I want to see it in the real stuff now. So you just kind of anticipate, and like Shaji just said, we just had our morning meeting. He says, I wish we could just play the game now. And I'm sure the players feel the same way from both teams. It's a long camp for all the teams in the league, and now it's time to play.
John, you want to play the style that you want to play based upon the players that you have. I'm wondering if watching the games around the league last night reaffirmed to you the speed that everybody's trying to get now, that you're going the right direction.
Yeah, the one I watched, I didn't watch it. I watched St. Louis and Chicago, but our whole in the teaching part of our camp the past week and a half or so, it's about going that way. We're trying to get up the ice as quickly as possible. I do believe with some additions on our blue line, with the puck handling and the legs, I'm hoping to get out of our end zone quickly and get going there. That D-to-D pass in our game, you don't see a lot of those anymore as you watch these games. So we're going to try to play as quick as possible. I do want us to have the puck more. I want us to not be afraid to make a play, as I've talked about all the way through here. But that doesn't take away from being responsible. I guess that's the fine line. Are you reckless or are you responsible? And I think you can allow yourself to be creative, but also being responsible.
Where's the meter on that, John, in terms of your acceptance for a mistake?
Oh, that's. I mean, there's going to be some mistakes. I was talking to Portsy and the guys yesterday, and I have coached myself this summer in where I need to. I think with some of the skill that we've brought in and some of the kids that we've brought in, I need to sometimes turn away and live with that. And hopefully Bob makes a save if it's a major breakdown or something bad happens, and allow them to get into that. Because I think a good player turns into a great player if he goes right back and makes that play, the one that he screwed up on. So I want them to feel that. I think we have a really young team, and I want it to develop that way into where this game is right now. I want them to feel comfortable, but I also want them to have the accountability of when we don't have the puck, playing the right way there too.
What do you hope to see your team establish during this
I'm not even looking at a homestand. I want to see my team in our 5:30 meeting. I want them businesslike in that 5:30 meeting, and I want to see our start. There's not a chance that we can look any further than each event that comes our way. And I think some of the other stuff takes care of itself a lot easier that way. So there's no question, everybody's anticipating, just to play a real game and see where we're at and see what we have to correct on tomorrow when we have our practice day. What were the good things? You want to get involved in that, but we just need to take it each event at a time here and not miss anything as we go through the process.
John, we talk a lot about going forward. When you look at the Penguins winning the Cup last year, one of the things that really stood out was how relentlessly they backcheck with the speed. How, we haven't talked much about that, but how important is that for you? We're talking about going forward, but getting back and just not giving much space to anything.
And that's part of the accountability of being responsible away from the puck. And I think all teams are trying to have 5 men up and 5 men back in situations so they can get the puck turned over before it enters the zone. So we have in our concept part of our camp, our team concept, we've done a lot of video and really quite a few drills in trying to distinguish when we don't have it. What's our attitude? What's our responsibilities? So. You know what? The game isn't perfect. There's going to be a ton of mistakes by both teams. I think we've covered what we need to cover in the offensive part and defensive part heading into tonight. So let's go at it here, and we'll see where we're at the end of the evening and see what we have to get better at or what was really good at when we enter tomorrow's day.
And you've got a young player on 2 of your lines and 2 of your pairs. You can't really ease those guys in. You can't hide them, I guess.
No.
Anyway,
No, they're going to play, and I think as coaches, especially in the back end, I think that's the position where I think a lot of things show up where some young players may feel a little pressure. We certainly want to try to get our guys into situations where they're succeeding, and if it kind of mounts up on them where some bad things happen, and it can for a number of different ways and reasons during a game, we have to watch that because we don't want to lose them and get them into a hole. The thing I like about some of our guys, and it's something we've talked about, if we're going to grow as a team, and I think when you have youth, it's so contagious. It's not they don't feel the pressure. I think our team needs to handle adversity within the games, within the season, within a period. We talked about that last year quite a bit as we went through the year, in not getting blowing yourself out of the water because something bad happened for 3 or 4 minutes. We need to stay within ourselves, and I think the kids are going to help us there. Sometimes you always worry about kids, and if you make, I think they just play. I mean, it's just a mindset, and so I like the attitude of our kids. Quite honestly, I think it's hopefully through the camp, and that was some of the mental things we went through as camp and the mental hurdles we try to put them through to create a camaraderie and a confidence. And I listened to our meeting yesterday with our general manager when the players were talking. I loved hearing some of the things they were saying, how they feel they're at a different level. And but we need to play. We can say all the right things. We can talk about accountability. We have to go through some experiences here and see where we're at.
John Udavara and Udavara and Werenski will make their NHL debuts. You're such a player's coach. Over the years, have you done anything with players like that, even if it's just a handshake, or do you just let them be?
No, I've just let them be. I'm sure the boys, who knows what they do with them, but it's. I just can't get over how young they are, and maybe it's just because I'm just getting older. But no, I've let them be. I think I'm pretty much I'm a big board guy. I put things on the board, the lineup, and you pretty much see where you stand each day as far as how I put the lineups up with the practice groups. And I think they knew they were going to get this start here even before this morning. I'm anxious to see them play. I just think they have I think they have the right strut, if I can say it that way, where and I think it's important for us to have a little bit of personality as a team here. I think we're going to get that from our kids. And where Nudavera has been up the ice all training camp and sometimes leading it. And I just like how him and Zach aren't afraid to do that stuff. And they do. They come back and make that play that they didn't make 5 minutes ago. So I think that's going to be really good for our mindset.
Kids, any thoughts on Austin Matthews and 4 goals last night in this team?
I didn't see it. Again, I watched Chicago St. Louis, saw some of the highlights, but it is it's a young man's game, isn't it? And that's what I mean. I don't think they feel pressure. I think they'll feel pressure after they go through some experiences, 40 games, and then they have a little bit of a slump. But right now, when you enter a season like this, they're just playing, and I think it goes to show where I think sometimes we lose ourselves, where we may I know we overcoach and we just don't allow them to play. And that's something that we've talked about as a group here that I want to happen. I don't want us to be sloppy, but I want to let them play and let them create. And we'll teach the other side of the puck. But offensively, I just want them to go.
Would you say it's fair to say that with the youth, that the leash is going to be a little bit longer to make a mistake? Like last year, you might pull someone out of the lineup. Will you give them a little more leeway this year?
Yeah, I think I get put in a box a little bit too, as far as I have a short leash. I think sometimes you guys see when there's an occasional conflict on the bench, and that you think that's the way it is all the time, because that damn camera's on me all the time here. And yeah, not anymore. Yeah, okay, thanks. But that's the self-coaching I did this summer. I want to go the extra yard because I think we have some people, especially at a young age, that we want to bring in to play in this type of style. And so the coach has to eat it sometimes, but we can't get sloppy. And it's not about just being totally irresponsible and being sloppy. That's where I've got to find my way, and that's where we're going to have to go through a defining period as a team and a coach as we try to, it's not changing a complete style, but it's just allowing them to be creative. I think we got to find our way a little bit as we start the season.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.